Hey guys! Last time we left off when Minphilia asked me to check out what's happening because there was a ruckus or so going on. Don't remember what she called it. She told me to go and talk with Alphinaud, but on my way there sadly my keyboard stopped working, so I hope it will work better today. Hope I've managed to fix it. Let's see what was going on. Also, feel free to tell me how the sound is going. I fixed it today. I hope the settings are good like that. But let's talk to Alphinaud. Or not. Okay. Laladri, this while that you are on hand, we have a problem. Raleigh has escaped. I think it's the woman that we accused of being a traitor. It happened shortly after the immortal flames took her into custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. This plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Rowley quitting the city via the gate of Renault with a bloodied spear in her hand. She makes a castrum meridianum, I'm certain of it. With her fate in Eosia as good as sealed, what resources has she but to flee to her imperial masters? Even as we speak, Captain Ilbert and the First are hot upon Raleigh's heels. Pray make haste to Camp Blue Fog and join the hunt. Well, of course we will do that. Where is that camp? In northern Thanalan, so let's teleport there. Camp Blue Fog. My thanks for coming, Scion. I've spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Raleigh walked through the camp not a bell ago. Aye, she walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Froban's decision to keep the matter secret to thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Rowley must not be allowed to reach Castrum Meridianum. Yeah, probably not the best idea to let the traitor get away. Who knows what she might tell them. I hope he's still in the zone, so I'm not running around here for nothing. I always find it amazing how they tell me to follow them and then run off ahead. It's like, how fast are they? They basically speed run across the whole map. There he is. A duty calls. Come as better for the reason Rowley. Sure, let's do that. This wretch was withdrawally. He threw himself at us He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming. No loyalty even to her own. The goddamned harpy. With me sighing, we almost have her. Oh, I forgot that her people are that close to us. Okay. Can I poison a machine? That's how it used to. I survived to finish them. Only because he stole my kill. Holy shit. Leave me alone. It's not nice to go for the ranged ones. I guess I have to take the small ones out first. I just keep chasing after them. Where did they come from? That's so not cool. Dude, did you fail? What? What happened? Did they all die? What? What did I do? Let's try this again. Really don't know what I did wrong. Yeah. He already told us that. About how evil she is, that she didn't care that they killed her loyal follower who tried to protect her. I'm really not sure what I did. Half an hour wasn't over. Not even close. Okay. Defeat her, enter Imperialis. Yeah, that's what I will try to do. Then apparently fail. From my thoughts, same as her. And then I'm gonna keep going for the guys in the back again. Too much going on here. Please don't time. Oh, thanks God. I was already wondering if I failed it again. Okay, she's gasping and panting. She deserves that. Bind her and do it tight. I hope they don't let her escape again. I don't want to fight this again. Alfred appears, like always, after the fighting is done. But we still like him. Good work, man. She and her imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. What would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who has never known any want. People such as you take wealth and birth granted. You think it your God's given right to rule over others. You know naught of our plight, the injustice that we low-born Ishgardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people, but resources to be consumed. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even whoring myself. It is no fault of mine if fools imagined me as paragon when I joined the flames. To hear you tell me it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Reborn himself was born in poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth, with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. Yet, never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others their fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had to be dealt, and played it to the best of our abilities. Life was a battle, aye, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? It's true that we were both mercenaries of Lobers, and it's true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you, Marshal, you sold your comrades. If life has taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ulda to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. I mean, I feel bad for her if she had to suffer a lot, but this still doesn't give her the right to betray us all. Let's see what Orphanet has to say. Not so much as a hint of remorse. His will that this sordid business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely than Reborn chose his. And completed.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business. No, I do not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Reborn. There is no telling what the brute might do.
I hate that little lullaby.
Have the Blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
Don't you dare touch her.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while.
To be fair, Lolorito isn't that much better.
Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little Sultana to the last.
I will personally kill him should he try to hurt her. Let's see what Ulfinite wants from us. Ulfinite would ask another favor of you. Okay, what is that favor? Captain Elbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we should take our findings directly to General Reborn, and that shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. My thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Mentphilia of all that has happened. I am aware that the antecedent held Rosalie in high regard. For better or worse, she will want to know how this tale ends. Cool. Let's teleport back to the Rising Stones. And see what Mentphilia has to say to all of this. Always turn into the wrong direction.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Reborn, Eileen lent us much needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Heidelin placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Heidelin did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had two pieces of white orosite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the orosite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident at the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God.
Okay.
We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Next cutscene.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
Wow, I really pronounced that name wrong. I don't even know where he got the letters from, the way he said it.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the media project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Voris Zos Galvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished!
Yes.
Purge this land of your sickness before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
I gladly help him with that. Oh, what cute plushies.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here.
She gonna get rid of the monarchy?
When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Reborn to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Reborn, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
I feel bad for her. She just wants the best for her people and doesn't know how to help them. And back to me and Minfilia. Minfilia is considering which of her many responsibilities demands her utmost attention. I must eager to address the Ascian threat. However, we dare not neglect our other pressing concerns. We both know full well that Saint Shiva will not be the last primal we face, and our relationship with Ishgard is still tenuous at best. To think that the resolution of the primal threat was once the sole priority of the Scion of the Seventh Dawn. Some days I wonder if it was wise for us to take on so many other responsibilities. Lest you forget, antecedent, the Scions need not shoulder the burden alone. Were not the crystal brace established for this very reason? True, we are present with a multitude of problems. However, we have all the resources we need to address them in turn. Laladri, in particular, is ever a steadying hand who I trust will continue to support the Braves. Well, yeah, of course I will. To what do we owe the pleasure? Have there been further developments regarding the situation in Ul'dah? As expected, the Immortal Flames have been struggling to cope with the revelation that one of their highest-ranking officers was a Garlean agent. Suffice it to say, Telechi Adelechi and his monetarist ilk have wasted no time in attempting to turn the situation to their advantage. Coupled with ongoing unrest, the Flames are finding themselves hard-pressed. Plainly, General Reborn needs our help, and I will direct the Crystal Braves to offer what support they can. If I am to stay abreast of the latest developments and issue effective orders, however, I cannot afford to waste time traveling back and forth. And so, for the foreseeable future, I think it would be for the best if I were to remain in Ul'dah, unless you have an objection. None whatsoever. We have matters here well in hand. Monbreeder's research is proceeding as planned? So she tells me, though I'm not familiar with the details. Ariange is poring over his tombs at the walking sand, and the others are contributing in their own ways. Alas, the key problem, how to form an ethereal blade at will, remains unsolved. Nevertheless, it is only a matter of time. Laladri, While we focus on the task, mayhap you could assist Alphinaud and the Braves with theirs? It would do much to restore faith in the immortal flames if a warrior of light was seen walking on their behalf. And never forget that your esteemed status allows you to act in ways that those more tightly bound to organizations and nations cannot. As ever, I implore you to do so. Well, not only am I the warrior of light, but I'm also part of the flames, so should be easy enough to do. Not that your response was ever in doubt, but I humbly thank you once more for aiding our cause. Now then, there are preparations I must attend to before my departure, such as receiving Royal's latest report. He has proven to be quite skilled at gathering information others wish kept secret, hence why I placed him under my direct command and ordered him to investigate the Uldan riots. When you are finished here, join me outside. Depending on what he has to say, I may soon have a favor to ask. If there are any developments on our front, I shall inform you at once in the usual fashion. You know, Alphinaud always has a favor to ask. I don't think we ever ended a quest with him that did not end in a favor. Let's go and speak with Royal. Real? I think that's how he's pronounced. Oh, she. I apologize. Or is it a he? I can't tell. Pleasure is always the lottery. You'll be escorting the commander to Ulda, I take it? Actually, I had another task in mind for her. If you would be so kind as to repeat your report for her benefit? Right then. Me and mine have been making inquiries into the resource of the weapon what found their ways into refugee hand a ways back. So happens we caught wind of something promising, a rather large purchase of sharp and pointy things by a black marketeer holed up near Highbridge. I doubt that this man would have secured such a quantity of weapons if we did not already have clients waiting. Clients that, for whatever reason, would prefer for this transaction to remain secret. Brings to mind the merchant we caught in error while talking to the lottery that downed it. Generous fellow, he was doling out swords and spears to the downtrodden and disgruntled. Which isn't to say that these clients have the same mischief in mind, but if you want to be sure, might be prudent to intervene before they collect their goods, say? Savvy? Is that right? I don't know. Seizing the weapons before they fall into the wrong hands would be for the best. However, if we strike at the appointed hour, we might capture the black marketeer as well as his clients. What say you, Laladri? Well, I guess we agree with him. Then it's settled. Rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at Highbridge and intervene when the exchange takes place. Now then, if you would excuse me, I must leave for Ulda. I expect good tidings. So, where is Highbridge? Where do I need to go to? That doesn't tell me where it is though. Eastern Thanalan. Okay. How do I get out of the city again? I think it's that way. Danke. Apparently Knusper Chicken thinks that everything is going well. So, let's see what Albert has to say. Alaladri. My scouts have been keeping a close eye on the black marketeer, and it would seem that his guests have arrived. It would also seem that he has hired more than a few men to stand guard, common thugs of no consequence, but they nevertheless pose a threat. Even so, I feel compelled to apologize. This is far beneath a woman of your standing, and Commander Levilleur needn't have dispatched you hither. But powerful men ever have need of loyal, able-bodied friends. Having found one in you, it's only natural that he would come to rely upon you without hesitation. Did he just talk bad about our boy Alphinaud? How dare he? Now then, we should make for the burning wall without delay and secure those weapons. The first unit will ensure that the clients do not escape. With me, Liladri. Sure. I will run after you. Again. Okay. Then I shall fly up again. I spied one man, but there are sure to be others. I have a plan. While you approach the sentry and create a distraction, my man and I will slip past and catch the black marketeer unawares. So I have to do the hard part. Once you've disposed of the thugs, wait for us outside the tunnel entrance. Any questions? Then let us be off. Good luck, my friend. He didn't even wait for me to have any questions. How rude of him. Let's get my chocobo to help us. Let's talk to the thug, I guess. Who goes there? An adventurer? Damned fool. You should have never come here. Well, I could say the same about you guys. Oops. Why can't that happen? I don't want to fight these pure things. Oh no. There. To be fair, when he said I should create a distraction, I did not thought he wanted me to actually kill them all. Maybe my arrows just can knock people unconscious or so, who knows. Oh god, why is it lagging? What's going on here? Okay. Tunnel entrance, where is that? Okay, I think I already see it on my map. Why does it suddenly look so weird? And this now, before I go in there, I'm quickly grabbing a new drink and be right back, guys. I am back. So, let's go in there and have a look how it goes. I don't understand. What is this all about? I will not scream in my microphone, but whoever is talking is screaming. Cool. I guess I have to go down there. Investigate the disturbance. Did he knock him down? Fair enough. As you can see, this is a fine mess. When I tried to restrain him, he drew a hidden blade and lashed out. But before I could disarm him, one of my subordinates panicked, and this is the result. How foolish of me to underestimate the bastard and bring an inexperienced recruit. Commander Levillier will be most disappointed. Damn it all. A golden opportunity wasted. As for the clients, though, we know not how they slip past our perimeters. At present, the first is currently tracking the party of Duskwigged sellsword we suspect may be them. Would that we could have enlisted the aid of the Immortal Flames or the Breastplates. Alas, we're here to aid them. They're in no position to aid us. Well, at the very least, we have secured the weapons. Yet even that accomplishment is lacking, for the information we received indicated a massive shipment, and that is anything but... Well, I guess he doesn't want to finish that sentence. Albert would like nothing more than to have this incident forgotten. I would join the first on the hunt for the Duskwigged sellswords. If the gods are good, we will catch them before they escape into the Black Shroud. In the meantime, I ask that you deliver these weapons to Ulda in my stead. Entrust them to the third Yuyuhase. He will take care of the rest. That box is as big as me. How am I supposed to carry that? Okay, let's teleport back to Ulda. Let's have a look where we need to go to. Okay, to the steps of Thal. Could teleport to the Weaver's place. I'm a bit confused. Okay. Let's teleport to the Weaver's thing. I always got lost in the city. Gridania and Limsa are not so much of a problem, but here, no matter where I want to go, I always get lost. How is he supposed to carry that? He's a little Alafay. Ah, the warrior of light, ever reliable friend to the crystal braves. You have my deepest thanks for your assistance in Corythos. Now, what brings you to us this day? Here, I have a box full of weapons. A gift of weapons from a certain black marketeer. Courtesy of Captain Albert, you say? Understood. Once we've catalogued the contents, I'll have them delivered to the Hall of Flames. This cannot be everything, can it? Rio stated with confidence that there would be a far greater quantity of weapons. A blatant falsehood. Clearly, Riol is unfamiliar with the ways of Ul'dan merchants, who ever strive to present themselves as greater as they are. We should be thankful that his information was not completely erroneous, and that we managed to achieve anything of worth at all. It's still something worth celebrating, isn't it, Lieutenant? Besides, we've got more important things to worry about, like fighting those Gallians up north. There will be no fighting if I have anything to say about it. Our orders are to stand watch, not to seek glory in battle. If you have no further need of us, then I should take my unit to the Ceruleum proceeding plant, whatever that is. Time for the Force to earn their keep, eh? Fighting well, Eleni, for the freedom of all. Is that a fighting pit they told me about? Excellent work as always, my friend. Rest assured that the immortal flames will hear of your contribution until we meet again. The Ladri. A word, if you please, yeah? Not here. Look for me at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. No need for whistling this time, don't you worry. Okay. Is that a trading place here? Would help if we would not run into a wall. Here he is. Thanks for indulging me request. Few places better than the market for privacy, I find. All the hustle and the bustle of commerce means most conversations go unnoticed. I'll get to the point. At the burning wall, when you and the captain interrupted the exchange, what happened? Tell me everything, leave no detail out. Well, I killed or knocked out some people. Then the merchant got killed. I took the weapons. That's not quite how the first told it. These dust weights they were chasing. Latest word is that we lost the trail. But you never saw them yourself. Not before the fighting started and not after? Something ain't right. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it in my bones. I'm not daft enough to be misled by some merchant's drunken boasts. Our information was reliable, god damn it. I know he purchased those weapons. As if I've never deciphered a moneylender's books or had to follow a transaction back to its source. Did plenty of that back when the bravers were getting started, believe me. The commander wanted assurance that we weren't taking gil from the wrong sort of benefactors. Of course, these days the money flows like water, and the first and third get the shiniest toys. Forgive me, friend. I've a lot on my mind these days, and I appreciate you leading an ear. Right then, best get back to it. I'm not really sure what he's suggesting. Are our own people working against us? Oh, Tataru is talking to me. Laladri, can you hear me? This is Tataru. Your presence is urgently requested as the Rising Stones. Please come and see me as soon as you are able. Yes, of course, my little lullaby. Let's go right back there. No wonder I always turn the wrong way. I always end in a different place. Okay, let's see what's so urgent. Thank you for coming so quickly, Liladri. We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak to you. A most, determined lady by all indications. I guess it's the second in command from Amaris, I think is his name. The black-haired guy from Ishgard. Tatari seems eager to escort you to the Solar. Our guest is within the antecedents in the Solar at present. Let's not keep them waiting any longer, shall we? Yes, of course. Yeah, really see, she's the second in command. I think that's her title, I'm not sure.
We have a guest from Ishgard who wishes to speak with you. I believe the two of you have met.
Yes, we did.
We have. I had hoped to speak with Commander Leveilleur as well, but I cannot afford to wait any longer. The Lord Commander sent me hither to request your aid in a matter of grave import.
You see now why I had Tataru summon you.
Now that we're all assembled, perhaps you would be good enough to elaborate on the nature of the matter which brought you to us.
The Observatorium's astrologians have sounded the alarm. Last night, the Dragonstar burned with an intensity not seen in 15 summers. Not since the Dravanians engaged the Empire in the Battle of Silvertear Skies.
The northern sky doth burn full bright upon the Wormlord's call. The red behemoth beckoneth, and flame consumeth all.
That does sound bad.
The old Curthan rhyme, aye. The brightening of the Dragonstar is said to accompany the roar of a great worm. The astrologians believe that it was Midgard Soma himself who cried out on this occasion.
After an absence of centuries, the King of Kings did return to lead his kind against the might of Garlemald, only to fall in his duel with the Agrius, proud flagship of the Gallian fleet. Devoid of life, his corpse remaineth entwined about the Magitech monstrosity even unto this day.
Ariange has the right of it. Whatever this alteration in the Dragonstar portends, the Great Worm has shown no sign of life. Tataru, have the Domans reported aught out of the ordinary?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but if Midgard Zorma had roared, wouldn't we have heard it here in Revenant's Toll?
Roar is but a figure of speech. Dravanians can communicate in ways beyond our ken. It is for this very reason that we are forced to look for signs in the heavens. We cannot say with any confidence that a great worm roared at all, much less that it was Midgard Sorma.
Though it might not be as bad as they make it seem to be. But I have the feeling it will be.
Only by directly examining the Keeper of the Lake can we be certain. However, it will take too long to gain the Holy See's approval to dispatch the Temple Knights. Therefore, Sir Emric would entrust this task to you. Do you accept?
Of course, if that makes the Ishgardians work with us, then I will gladly help you.
We knew you would not disappoint us. Now, if you would excuse me, I must return and assist the Lord Commander. We have precious little time to prepare.
To prepare for what, pray tell?
When a great worm roars, his brethren cannot choose but answer. We prepare for battle.
It does not sound good. Forgive me if I state aught which you already know, but I would ensure that you understand the nature of your destination. As Suriange stated, what we now call the Keep of the Lake is a wreckage of the Agrius, former flagship of the Imperial fleet, and the corpse of the worm responsible for its destruction. 15 years ago, as the next step into his campaign to subjugate Eorzea, Gaius van Belse attempted to seize control of Modona. So massive was his force that all through his victory a foregone conclusion. But an unlikely ally came to Eorzea's aid that day, Midgard Soma, legendary guardian of Silvertear Falls, burst forth from beneath the waters of the lake and led a host of dragons against the Gallian airships overhead. In what would later become known as the Battle of Silvertear Skies, the Great Worm felled countless airships before engaging the Agrius. In the ensuing struggle, the flagship's Caerullium engines failed, and it tumbled into the lake below. Yet this victory came at a great cost, for the explosion which followed claimed the life of the Great Worm as well. That same explosion transformed Silvertear Falls into a desolated wasteland it is today, draining the lake of its waters and crystallizing ethers for miles around. Yet a remnant of the lake remains, and at its center a constant reminder of the fateful day long ago. In accordance with Sir Emeric's wishes, our Doman allies have been standing watch over the keeper of the lake. It would be wise to speak with them before investigating the wreckage yourself. Be careful, my friend. We know not what dangers await you within. Now then, let us not neglect our own task. There is much to be done, and precious little time to do it. Cool. Let's go and find the Domans I need to talk to. You're in luck, miss. I was about to send word to Revenant Toll about the Gallians. Of late, I've seen small airships, likely from Castrum Sentry, come and go from the keep of the lake. Though I cannot say for certain at this distance, I believe they may have salvaging something from within the wreckage. The Castrium supply lines have been cut from some time, and I'd wager they're desperately in need of spare parts and other equipment. So it's true then? The Guardians honestly fear that the worm might rise again? Well, from here that seems rather unlikely. But if it's assurance they want, you've no choice but to inspect the corpse in its entirety. Easier said than done, given the circumstances which inhabit the wreckage. and the aforementioned Gallians who won't take kindly to your presence. They are sure to fire upon an airship, so I'd advise a more stealthy approach. Take this boat and a few of your comrades to the base of Agrius, then climb to the top. That's the only available approach, I'd say. The Keep of the Light Lake is now accessible. I wonder if it's a dungeon alright. Probably a dungeon. Cool. Then we shall do that. Now with other players. Keeper of the Lake. How many people do we need? 4-man group. Okay, average waiting time of 5 minutes. So, guess we have to wait a bit. Let's see, what can I do? Let's dance a bit. Okay, that was a rather short dance. I should learn how to play music as my bard, then I would have something to entertain you while we wait. But I don't want to torture you for now with that. I've never really done it. Don't even know where. Okay. Would open it there. But I don't know how to play. But give it a go. Okay, so it's city. Does anyone know a song? Or the notes to it? 'Cause I don't. Yeah, let's not do that. How do I close that? Press, okay. Don't know if it will override my duty finder if I be in there too long. Or if I would get the ping for it. So, yeah. I hate the waiting times. Never know what to do. Maybe the guy who's standing in front of me will also join me in the dungeon. Or at least has to do it, probably. Who knows? No. Hello, Zillion Grey. I'm fine, and you? Well, I hope I'm not too much of a distraction then. Oi, dungeon time. Now that I'm streaming also means I can't skip the cutscenes anymore. Because I hate making the other people wait. It would be mean to just skip them. Now that people are actually watching. Quickly saying hi to my party. Okay, so we have a summoner, an arcanist, or how they are called as a healer. I'm not sure yet what a tank is. Probably a gladiator or so. Okay, we're pulling more before we fight them. Pretty known tactic as far as I know. Holy, that's a bit sad. Maybe we had some aggro problems also. Could not get out of that fast enough. That's I just stick with the healer. He seems to know what he's doing. Okay, get him down. Let's follow them and have a look what our loot is. Leggings, they are worse than what I thought. And a ring. Read on both of them. See that now. Okay, what is this? Oh, that's allergy. Okay, our tank is running. What? Not again. Is that a box? That noise is so annoying. I am sorry I can't bring it up. Another treasure chest. Why are we getting so many treasures? Read on that one. And on that one too. burned his own people alive. That's vicious. I guess I didn't. The Empire in a nutshell. I know. Some gauntlets I can't use. And armor that seems to be better than what I have. I can't see. When they told me I had to investigate a shipwreck, this was not what I was expecting. Time.
Who treadeth now upon my bones, and waketh me from slumber sweet?
That's creepy. Don't want the dead dragon talking to me.
Remember, mortal, and fear me.
Okay, I fear you. Everyone had to wait for me. That's a problem with people who already did the dungeon. They sadly have to wait for flips like me who haven't. Do we need to fight them now? Or... I guess no. stuff. I don't know where I need to be. What do I need to do? Okay. At least by the end of the fight, I figured out how that tactic worked. I can't fight it. My ult can. So let's create it. I just saw your comment about the cutscene. Sorry I didn't see it earlier. So, just never knew some people were getting annoyed when they were doing dungeon roulettes all day. So I just tended to sometimes skip them. So that people didn't have to wait for me.
By her gifts hast thou earned a moment's reprieve. Speak, mortal, and I shall listen. Guided by a star. My people have heard the song. Ishgard shall burn.
That's not nice.
Sons must answer for their father's misdeeds. We do not forget. We do not forgive. Seven children did I sire. One now singeth of retribution. I rise to join in the chorus. Thou art powerless to silence us, mortal. Yet
I'm not sure if I like dragons in this game.
Trickery is thy shield. This frail, ignoble creature is not gifted, but chosen. Hearken to me, Hydaelyn. I remember, and I consent. Fear not, mortal. I shall not harm thee.
I don't trust you, you just tried to kill me. What's going on? I worked so hard to get these crystals.
Mayhap thou thinkest me an oath breaker. Thou art mistaken. If thou comest to harm, it shall be by another's hand, not mine. I did but strip thee of thy mistress's feeble blessing.
But why?
Thou didst profit much by her grace, but no more.
Oh, how cute. Looks a bit weird, but it's still really cute.
The covenant binds me to thee. I shall watch, listen, and wait. Fight and struggle, if it be thy will. Man hath ever coveted that which lieth beyond his grasp. I drink of her body, and thence doth mine own find new life. When it hath grown whole, the loyal and penitent shall rejoice. The dragon song heraldeth a beginning and an end.
Is that my dragon now? No, where did he go? You may summon Megatsoma by selecting the corresponding entry within your minion guide. I now have him as my minion. Wow. It's kind of cute. Okay, what does the Dome and Watch have to say to this? I was beginning to fear the worst. Were those explosions just all? But you shouldn't waste time talking to me. Alphanor left a message stating that you were to return to the Rising Stones at once. Why there though? I thought he was staying in Ulda. He really confuses me sometimes. Okay, I can't fly her. How do I get in here? Oh, I can't. I have to go lower. Okay, into the Rising Stones we go. Rise the 12th that you are hale and whole. I came as soon as Menphilia informed me of Sire Emeric's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keep of the Lake, I take it? Then I would hear your report. You converse with Midgard-Soma? I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the wormhole did not perish and has in truth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation for he who dwells in eternity, years passing his moments. Though his words were ambitious at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard a song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emeric immediately. However, we dare not divulge our conversation with Midgard-Soma in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you hear the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emeric's emissary, you may leave that to me, for I remain here for now. Is there something else you're not telling us, Laladri? You seem different somehow. It's almost as if you are missing something. Something important. For Fend, Midgard-Soma stripped you of the blessing of the light. Are you alright? How do you feel? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgard made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the water comes into existence, so did the Great Worm. Althig and Nemea, Brother Time and Sister Fate, decreed that Midgard ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke, and it was not the gods with whom he treated, but Heidelin herself? Well, if he's watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Oh my god, my dragon is talking to me. Art thou a pawn or master of the day fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? It's so cute. Weird, but cute.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wormlord and lived to tell the tale. I give thanks to Helone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness. Your encounter with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other. The Dravanians are coming.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different. And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises. I must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
The Ishgardians have warred with the Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all the time, not once have the enemies breached their defense and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless of how strong these magical wards may be, I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgard who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance and pray that our fears are unfounded. Alphenord has a message from Mjörn Breeder for the science. Ere I forgot, I believe Mon Breeder has requested a gathering of the science. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the assassins. Pray inform her that our business with the Ishgardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Or done with your talk of dragons? Wonderful, because Asians are next on the menu. Let's head into the solar, shall we? I just came from there.
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon. I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Asian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void. Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Asian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that white auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beings, albeit only briefly.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Aye. To unmake an Asian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Short of experimenting on an actual Asian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of. As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether. Hang on a minute! Why didn't we think of this before? White auracite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white auracite cannot store ether for long periods? Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
Could be me. My memory's terrible too.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Asian's soul? Or still more?
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around, on the off chance that an Asian appears.
That's the very problem we set out to solve, and I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source. And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? Aye, I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea. I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
If you think it's worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
I thought you might say that, but no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out. Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether. Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum. During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength. Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild, and to this end they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant. Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men. Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals. Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arceans will next appear.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalymo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola, in the meantime I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Garlean threat has been eliminated.
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
Thank you, Arianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you are able. Go well, and be safe.
It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the preceding plant. The force have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Science. Wilred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbert at our headquarters in Ulda. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. You know, he could do that from time to time as well. Help us at the front. Oh, Hori Boulder wants something. Your duties take you to northern Thanalon, do they not? We, too, must say our farewells to the Rising Stone for a time. Flamin travels to Ulda, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact many old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations. Threatened by primals and troubled by dragons, we need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Science cause. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front, or we shall fall. How extraordinary that my little Asilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Ulda has become a place of danger even for one so familiar with her streets. Woe betide the blackguard that so much is glares into your direction, my lady. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way then? I think they're gonna take good care of her. So where exactly do I need to go again? Northern Thunderland. See if I can find my way. Commander Levelier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talent is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames' reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Roban's Push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the preceding plant. The Guardians could begin marching on us any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein, that we might coordinate our counter-strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be a welcoming tiding. like I teleported. Sergeant Shirogane, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archeon. With that, we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require your attention. The civilian draughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the preceding plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design no less. By my order, the flames stationed here are conducting a throughout swap of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news on the latest movement of the Imperial army. I would once again ask for your aid. Sure, why not? We've been keeping a close eye on the Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report, we just came in. The squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in numbers to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resource. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have appraised you fellow Science of the situation, and am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report Lieutenant Aliane and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. Okay, where is she? In here? No. There she is. Glad to have you with us, Laladri. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein has explained, the Gallians have deployed a small force of Castrum Meridianum. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamon's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. They wish you to rush forth and commit a battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Ilbert. Greetings, Scion. I understand Commander bid you and your fellows come, lend us a hand to the brave. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the force should not have little trouble contending with all the Garlands might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The third was getting restless, holed up in Ulda, so I marched him out here to fill any holes in the plant's defense and add the numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our own forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, it would be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course, indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of the storage's tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Science shall join the fourth and give battle to this main column. You're with the third then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the preceding plant. When you're ready to proceed, Report to Lieutenant Yoyohase. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeeded when you are around, and victories are won a paved road to gather coin. Now, this detached force will be sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads. The better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts, I imagine. We'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you on your own areas to secure clean your enemy soldiers. Aye, this will be a simple search and destroy. So, a killing mission again. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. Okay, where does he send me to? Let's have my chocobo join me again. What? I did not expect such a big load. Okay, next to the next place I need to defend. What is this? I don't even better not to know, I guess. Wrong way. Need to be up. You don't see me, don't attack me. He did attack me. Why are they fighting in their room? Okay, to the next one. Oh, I already can report back. He seemed grimacing. I take that to mean that between us, more than a few galleons won't be making it back to the Castria. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magatech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the Force and let Lieutenant Eliane know the west is now clear. I'd appreciate if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Sergeant Shiragani, what news of the Garlands? Well, we cleared the west. Their raiding parties are no more than. Excellent. The Amagian engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Moonbreeder's well-being. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Eliane has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The rogue guardian lady with the large axe? It would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thunderland is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sword such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check on her before you continue on your way. Of course, I can do that. She's not even that far out. Right around the corner. Really? It had to attack me. Since I'm already on it, I will also go for the weird eyeball flying creatures. Is anything for my compass left? Let's see what she has to say.
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe. I know, as Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one. And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it? Aye, that ought to do it. So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting. Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed?
Yeah.
The the siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade.
I mean, worst case, I just hit him with that.
I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
She senses me. A useful talent.
What weird creep is watching us?
Hanassian, are they onto us?
By your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath.
He sounds like he has a cold. Or a stuffed nose.
Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales. And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down. You must concede that I acted in self-defense. But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light.
Yes, and now I have a blessing of the dragon. Or at least a weird dragon follower.
Oh dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee. Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken. Now is the time to claim the stuff.
What stuff?
With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
What an odd person.
What did that bastard want with us? Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet, unconscious.
I like her.
But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff. Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff.
Master who?
Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Okay. First, I keep killing my hunting. Thanks. I think I'm gonna stop for today. I'm starving. So I hope you enjoyed the stream and thank you for chatting with me. It was a pleasure. And hope to see you next time.